Good morning to our esteemed guests, Architect Simi Hoy, our distinguished lecturers, Dr. Mazlan and Dr. Narendra Syed, our general sponsor from Foreign Laminate Industries in Berhad, Ms. Joy Wu, and our honorable speakers who are also alumni from USN, Architect Jethro Koy, and S. Muhammad Fazban, and all our valued attendees. To start, I would like to invite Architect Muslim, who is Vice Chairman of PAN Northern Chapter and Organizing Chairman of World Architecture Day, to deliver the welcome address. Please join me in welcoming Architect Muslim.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see so many familiar faces this morning. Let me introduce myself. I'm Architect Muslim, and I'm so honored to be chairman of the World Architecture Day 2024. Over here, I have my friend, Francis Tan. My big lady is not here today. She has to attend another seminar. This year, we are embracing the theme for WAD, the Empowering the Next Generation in Participatory Urban Design. So on 26th October 2024, this year, we're going to celebrate the World Architecture Day in St. Joe, Paraguay. So everyone is welcome to join us on this auspicious day. So today's theme highlights the crucial role of younger generation in urban planning and designs, and we face unprecedented challenges in urbanization. It's imperative that we empower you with the knowledge and tools needed to create sustainable, inclusive, and resilient cities. By fostering participatory urban design, we ensure that our future cities reflect the diverse needs and aspirations of all the inhabitants. I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to USN, the HDB, and graciously providing this venue. And additionally, we would like to thank main sponsors. Joyce is here today, Soil Laminate, for sponsoring this event. In conjunction with World Architecture Day, I'm pleased to announce that PAN Northern Chapter launched an AI competition 2 days ago. We hope that today's seminar will be particularly benefit for those who participated in this competition, offering insights and inspiration that will guide you through the creative process. We are honored to have us today two distinguished guests. First, we'd like to hear from Architect Jethro, from which architects that will have pioneered in sustainable architecture and urban design, following with E.S. Saswan from Penang Development Corporation, PDC. They will share their expertise on integrating design strategies. So that's all. So we'll pass the mic to speakers.
Thank you, Architect Simi Hoy. Now we would like to welcome our platinum sponsor, Ms. Joy Wu, to say a few words on behalf of Foreign Laminate Industries in Berhad. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Joy. Good day, everyone. From Foreign Laminate. Yeah, any benefit. It helps maintain the certain important perform below living below. It helps reduce the energy. Insulation can also act as sound barrier, helping to reduce external noise entering the house. And in the case of industrial production lines, reducing noise pollution. uninsulated reduce energy consumption, thereby reducing greenhouse gases emission and which contributes to a more sustainable and environmental. Also, it helps prevent condensation from building up what for global problem. This protects the structural integrity of the and ensures a healthier indoor environment. Investing in insulation products for your building is well worth it. It will pay for itself in several years later. There are a few common use like rigid comfort, several cycles. Today, let's dive into medium level and effective. Products are divided into two categories. The main features of this product is speed, elegant form. Elegant is generally as and low radiant heat resistance compared to many other specific. A radiant barrier system is defined when it is open space and has a low intensity performance. That is a common factory group system. Whereas effective insulation system consists one or more low space counting one or more enclosed spaces with measurable outlet. Product slightly most insulation materials go through manufacturing. Products effectively block heat by radiant heat and reducing radiant heat. To optimize efficiency, very effective is via a static air of at least 25%. Effective insulation will some resistant to production due to the ADHD limits. When we take it apart, the basic element has one or two surfaces. Generally, the surface either pure aluminum, foil, or metal. According to MS 2095, the emissivity must be 5% and below 1 meter. Metallized film is not considered. Then there is the substrate, which is where the strength comes from. The next step is to enhance it. Take a closer look for the same industrial products. We have developing series and two standard tech oil series. Tech A80PS come with both-sided pure aluminum foil and reinforced with two-way spring. Tech A28FR is aluminum foil on one side and metallized on the other side. Reinforced with one-way. Secondly, the polymers series is divided into woven and non-woven, among which the maximum series is currently the one of the best. There are 5 grades in the maximum series, including one single-sided, one double-sided, high reflective gloss, 3 with one side aluminum foil and one side. One thing that needs to be emphasized is that we are only one using one component. Right, for the F2FR base material is identical, with aluminum foil on one side and metallized film on the other. Next, the effective insulation. Plastic and foam are used to make effective insulation. The two above are small bubble
BP238FM is aluminum foil and metallized film. And BP238FR is double-sided high refractive pure aluminum foil. The following number is the diameter of each bubble. BBS2FR is a double-sided aluminum big bubble foil. And BW2FR is hybrid small bubble and woven fabric with both-sided aluminum foil. There's another grade of AirTech double series, PFB2FR, which is 2 layers of small bubbles sandwiched with 1 layer 5 mm thick SPE foam with both-sided hydrogen bond. Then is our single-sided and double-sided epoxy thermal foil. Then EF1FR and all the grids are common complied to NS09 fire retardant gas, IPV, and series certified. MF2FR has certified by a label and more base soon be certified by people label and it's provide with thermal transmitter values for the safety to contact us if necessary. Thank you for sending. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Joy. So now we are moving to our first presentation. I would like to introduce as Muhammad Sazwan, who is an architect, green officer, and BIM team leader of Penang Development Corporation. He is well known in integrating ABG facilitating PDC and ESG initiative with BIM and GPI into C projects and procurements. Let's give a big round of applause to welcome him.
Good morning, everyone. So basically today, I'm just going to present it casually. Just introduce myself. It will be 15 years by next year. So basically, I'll be presenting today with my old friend who SMXL is around AI and game. He's more on the AI side, I'm on the green side. Green side means more on the emotion of the world. So it's good to be here, to be back here. This exact area used to be our experiment space. I still remember taking my paper, every so it's really refreshing to see things change. Okay, so just back to my presentation. So basically what I'm going to be talking about is just how improve PDC projects. So just to take you guys to what PDC is, we are been around since 1969. So we are basically a development agency for Penang, Penang State, and then we are responsible for scaling socio-economic growth. So basically what we are doing is we are the government think tank of Penang. We are the industrial park developer. So currently we are having one launched by Prime Minister, the BIP, partnership. And we are also a township developer. We are doing township development. The most prominent one currently we are the township development, which is in the Council of Kuala. Our first township is actually Bayaran, and then our second township is in Seberang. We are also doing urban redevelopment, post-affordable housing. This one we are doing to our HVDC properties. I think of us knows we probably and we are also doing investment. Currently, we are moving forward
doing which later I will explain to you better what we're doing in my next step. Moving forward, we launched last year initiative ESG framework, which which was launched by which it's actually under FTDP, strengthening the basis of our governance and enhancing our economic stability, protecting national ecosystem, and then promoting social equity and development. This is what we are trying to implement in all our PDC projects and also PDC going forward. We also have updated our vision and mission, which is now we are being also for sustainable development. We're supposed to be the sustainable behavior in especially in development. I think the project cannot be done or cannot move forward. This is very important, especially since PDC we are using public money. It is important to know that when we are using public money, we need to have a very solid framework for the project to proceed, or else you are wasting money or it becomes quite a little project. And then, of course, we need to have high identification. This one later we will see through the project. And then, of course, we have market study where we get all the ROIs with our investment. Is it worth it to know how we want to implement it? Are we financing it through certain funding from the state government or the federal government, or are we doing funding from doing loan? We are actually doing loan as well. And of course, the ROI, is it sustainable or not? How long it will take for us to gain back the investment? It is important when you look at the project, is it sustainable for the whole project life cycle? And of course, implementation-wise, okay, this is getting very boring, so I just go straight. Contract type, yes. Appointment, yes. Approval, construction and completion and handover, this one. Normal practice, which is, I think, a lot of architects involved in this portion of implementation. And then for operation. Operation, mostly on PDC side, we are also doing operation of our building, our infra, especially for certain area of infra. Like now, for Batu Kawan side, when we are doing a lot of maintenance, and then just to have the area properly maintained for all the MNC that is operating there. Renovation, yes. Currently, a lot of I think a lot of you guys know that Komta is under our supervision. It is have been handed over from the state to us, so we are responsible for Komta as well. And then yes, tenancy and occupancy. Then maintenance, we need to take care of the cost for maintenance and repair. And of course, sometimes we need to do a demolition. Later, I will show you one of the projects. Okay, so in terms of design approach, this one I just go through quickly. Basically, everybody knows how to do a design. But in my case, what I can summarize is you need to see the context. You need to know is it efficient or not to do a certain project, or to implement the project, and then of course the costing. This is the most main factor when in PDC when we're doing projects. Cost. Is it worth it to do a project? Is it cost efficient? What is the return to the public, to us? Is it sustainable? That's a portion of sustainable as well. Just, I mean, you need to think beyond rain. It needs to be costly. It needs to be sustainable in terms of cost. Yes. Okay. Why is it green? Because technically, when you say that you're reducing costs, you are reducing resources. You don't need to do an over design or over spec projects. And then obviously, when you do reduce resources, you reduce the carbon footprint. This is directly or indirectly related. So in terms of context, of course, you want to avoid dispute, because dispute can be very, very costly, especially land dispute or legal dispute, then it becomes very costly. Then, of course, you need to showcase your project. Or else people will ask, if PDC, you spend 10 million, what are you doing? So this is part of context. Next, efficiency. So we have a green project or green approach. You have to maximize your area of usage. Make sure that whatever you're given, you maximize it. No dead or unusable space. This one is mostly on the building's portion. Multifunction can be used. So, I mean, for example, we have a building, you can use daytime, different use, nighttime, different use. This is part of how you want to reduce your resources as well. And then, of course, future-proof. When we're doing project for PDC, for example, when we're doing a building, we have to make sure it is sustainable 10 to 20 years. Because that's why we get like our return. We don't get our return back like every 2-3 years, no. It will be like 10 to 15 years of return. And then when you look at cost, how to minimize the spending. But at the same time, you don't want to reduce your quality as well. And then of course, low operation cost, Low operation cost. You want to make sure that your building or your project is sustainable in terms of running it. You don't want to, every time you run the project, for example, you have a very high-tech equipment, but then you cannot maintain it or it's unusable. So it needs a good balance between that. And then yes, it needs to be equipment friendly. So that's why in BDC, when we are doing a project, we are working very closely to our investor or our tenant or our potential tenant. We get their feedbacks. From their feedback, we carefully plan the project or plan the area that we need to use. And then we have to make sure that we are following their certain requirements. For example, especially when you're working with MNC or multinational company, certain specs they do not follow our local specifications. For example, previously I was working with Motorola. Their facility management system is different from our local management system. Their bomba spec is different from our bomba spec. So we need to consider that in our cost as well. So make sure when we design it, we don't do under design and at the same time we don't do over design. That's why client or potential tenant input is very, very important even during the planning stage. So just moving forward, this is my first project I will present to you. This is GBS TechSpace. I think the architect is here, the sub-architect is here. So the building element is BDC. So it is a very, it's like, what is GBS? I think a lot of people saw GBS, what is GBS? So GBS is actually our response to the market demand. Basically, a lot of MNC, they outsource their certain services like telecommunication, or maybe the one that we all this administration stuff, they don't do it in their office, they outsource it. This outsourcing portion becomes another office or another usage that can be used within the enclave of our industrial park. So Penang is very, very suitable for developing GBS. GBS means Global Business Solution. They are the one who operate on behalf of this MNC. So what we are giving them solution is just to provide a space that this MNC can come in, rent it, operate it. Because usually MNC for GBS, they won't operate long. It will be within 3 to 5 years. Depends on the market demand and market strategy and the operation. Because you know at MNC, they keep changing their administration, keep changing their policy. Sometimes within 5 years, they can tutup down the whole company. So it needs to be a flexible space. So for this particular GBS tech space, it is actually a small plot of land, around acres. This is actually a road reserve, a 100-feet road reserve. This because previously in the whole master plan of technical center area, this is supposed to be a part of another portion of the circulation where before the second bridge was completed, this portion of the area can be used as a road. But once the second bridge completed, this area is totally unusable due to the CDC requirement. So PDC acquired the land and then we tried to turn it into a GBS, a smaller GBS. But of course, when we are looking for, when we acquire land that is supposed to be a road area, we have a lot of underground utilities running through. There's actually a few 11 kV cables below it, which if we want to relocate the whole cable, we need to shut down the whole industrial park, which is very bad because all the MNC complain, definitely will complain, and it costs us a lot. So what we are trying to do is how we want to design a building without moving this 11 kV, there's a few 11 kV, as you can see, there's a different heights here. Especially this portion. You see, at the lowest is around 3 meters below ground. So we don't want to touch this portion. So what we do is, we try to make sure that the building layout, first we need to consider the parking. Because when you do a building space or an office space, parking is important, especially for MNC, because they are really take care of their office workers. They even subsidize cars for their workers actually. So car park is part of the requirement that we need to consider. To do a multi-story car park is a waste of space because circulation-wise, this is not a suitable area for doing a multi-story car park. You are wasting more rent than actual car park actually. So what we decided is to make use of the ground floor. So we get around 150 car parks just for the ground floor area, no multi-story car park. Then from there we work backwards. How many space that can be fitted for 150 car parks? So basically what we're doing is we don't use the current council requirement where it's around 100 square feet is one car park. We consider 150 is around 1 meter square, around 2 car parks for car parks. So basically we need around 60,000 square feet for the whole area for tenantable space. So this is what the layout we come up with. So basically this is the entrance, where for the entrance you need to consider one is private entrance, second is public entrance. Public means that, for example, you have a rubbish bin or services or guests, how they want to enter the area. Because this area should will become an IC design office. IC design means integrated circuit office, which means that very secure. Not everybody can easily enter and exit the area. So what we did was, this portion of the area, we make it a public entrance for public circulation, and then for the whole office use is the rest of the area. And then we place the lobby in front, because this one is facing the second bridge. This will be a very nice portion of the building. So this is what we come up with the car parks below the building itself, and then the services we push it at the back so that it's nearer to the main Lepas area. And then just no offices at the ground floor, just the main common areas and common spaces. So in terms of the layout, how do you want to make sure that it is as maximum as possible? We need to have as maximum tenantable space as possible. So what we did was, we have the main corridor at the edge of the building. Actually, this corridor can be used, it's a multi-function use corridor with circulation at the bottom, and then at the top we put aircon latch, so that the whole, we can maximize the tenantable space. So we get around 60,000 square feet for the rest of the area, and then the efficiency, this came back to the cost. The more space that you can rent, the more profit you're getting. So we are getting around 85% of efficiency, which is very, very good. Okay, this one is during the construction stage. As you can see, the building is very simple, straightforward building. And then when you exit from the second bridge, you see already the building. So what happened in this picture is basically there's one portion of the site that kena one cable. So we need to do some adjustment. But luckily, we are using IBS system, we are using structure system, so we can control a portion of the construction here, relocate a bit of the cable, the affected cable, and then continue back to the construction. So this is the current building. We are targeting the CCC by end of this month, and then our first tenant will start to operate on September. So and then I heard rumors saying that PMX is coming, but I don't know how you're going to enter this, because the area is so tight. All these security, all the other agency want to come in. I don't know how, but that's the latest new I heard. And then our tenancy is currently around 60%, which is very good even before the building operates. Okay, this is the other area. So as you can see, basically it's a bare building, a bare shell building. That's a portion of cost saving that we're taking up. And then this one is car park. This is the corridor that I mentioned before. Corridor and then aircon latch at the top. So you maximize the space as much as possible. And then the corridor also is not non-air conditioning, so that later during operation, less electricity use. And then for the internal, the tenant they will fit it themselves because each tenant has different requirement. So we just do a shell building, let them do themselves all the finishes and stuff. Okay, so what's green in this? I would say first, just to recap, how we approach the utility lines, how we reduce our costs, we make sure that the building piling doesn't interrupt the whole utility line. Second, it's part of the GBX series, so it's part of our showcase. So it should be very, it's an exemplary project. Efficiency, yes, we have limited area space, but we do our best with limited area space. And then of course the parking, as I mentioned just now, because actually we charge the parking, we can charge the parking around 150 ringgit per month. So around, we have 150 parkings, we have a lot of income there already. And then of course the cost. The whole project cost around 25 million actually, around 25 million only. And then of course our rate we need to be lower than the private sector because we are encouraging people to rent our space, but still we can make it, we can make profit within 10 years, I would say. Okay, next is Komtawa rejuvenation. I think it's not everybody knows. So this is basically just a simple project. As you can see, our scale project is very much different from a small project and a big project. Later, I will show you another project in our development. So basically, what we're doing is we have been asked to look at a portion of Komtawa. As you know, Komtawa previously was a very bustling and bustling space. It was completed in 2009. And then it was done by Pacific actually. The whole project was done by Pacific. But then along the way, it comes less people coming there, problematic. And of course, we want something, how to rejuvenate it, but at low cost. So that's a challenge. So this is the site, as you can see, previously, Komtawa, I think so last time, Lepak here. It's very hustling, but I don't know what happened along the way, but it becomes less. You can see that along the years, we can see that a lot of tenant changes, and eventually it becomes nobody there, nobody is going there. So this is just right before we take over the place. As you can see, like visually, nobody there, it's just a dead space, which is a waste because it's in the middle of a town. It's the middle of a very good and prominent area. But at the same time, how is it going to do this with less cost? Okay, this is another view of the site. So from the main road, you can see the back. One of the problems is from the main road, you can see the back of the shop. You cannot see what's happening inside. I think that's a major factor when you're considering doing a shop. It needs to be visually visible, even from the roadside. Because people see people go up, basically. So this is what we're planning to do. We want to demolish this area, the portion of this, and then we, of course, it becomes typical, you demolish building, you do car park. But again, back to the cost, and then how we want to generate income as quickly as possible. At the end of the day, Komta area, everybody complain about car park. Where's the car park? Where can I park my car? Because our urban area will develop based on car maneuvering, car parking system. So okay, it's okay. We do car park, but how do we want to do car park? But in a green way. So this is what we propose. So basically, we demolish the building, the existing building, then we repaint the main structure of the pedestrian walkway because we know that this area or this pedestrian roof is very nice, the iconic. And then it's very prominent from even from the roadside. And then, of course, people will move from the Octopus Bridge. I think everybody know the Octopus Bridge to the Kongta, to the Perangi Mall. They will use this area. So this will become a main attraction. Plus, now when you have UTC here, okay, fun fact about UTC. UTC also is our project. We are tasked by the federal government to do UTC. This is the first UTC in Malaysia that using existing building. So in Malaysia, so other state UTC, you can see they build all new nice building, but for us, we just use that from what we have. So what we propose is just a paving block car park, which is non-solid surface car park. And then, of course, we try to integrate as many landscape as possible, because you know that Kongta area very hot, but still people still go. So it's a compromise. So this is actually the work starts 2021 during just right after pandemic. So we need to rush to complete this, because at the same time UTC also will be operating at around the same time. So it's part of UTC. It's all like in the ecosystem. So you go to UTC, of course you need car parks, and then this is the best area that we can provide for. With the demolition, that it's a normal demolition. But again, in terms of demolition, we need to consider public safety as well. Even though it's just a simple demolition, but we do a proper holding catchment, even though there's nothing to catch, we just do that goes of course. But again, because it's in public eye, actually every week got paparazzi come take picture, you know. No, seriously, the paparazzi come take picture. I mean the public not like the tourist, you know. Just normal random public, then they will report to YB or something. So then so this is now. So basically, I think everybody knows because everybody go to UTC to do something at least. So now we have a nice landscape, and then of course the area here we try to minimize, reduce existing structure. We just add some glass to the window front. And then we add some, because this area is an old area, so there's a problem in terms of rainwater runoff, especially with heavy rain. Because when the top do they did their renovation, they redirect all their rainwater towards this area. And then this area don't have any proper rainwater drainage system. So that's why we need to compromise in terms of the car park surface. We use a paving block so that the rainwater run off to the nearby drainage is not as huge as possible. And then now, of course, this one we just put glass, and later the tenant come and do their own ID works and decoration work. Then again, another cost-saving feature. And now, of course, now a lot of events happening here, so it's actually quite interesting to see, like even though it's a small project, it's around 2 billion project, but the impact to the social and then to the public is very, then response to the public is also very good. So next, we are planning to renovate some portion of the Pacific entrance. That's why it's in the works. But then again, we got complaints from the top on Dato Sri, like this Sri, and this one another political issue. And then YB. Yesterday, I just made the YB take, just to explain to him what we were doing, because a lot of rumors saying that, well, we were going to block their interest, the top interest, blah, blah, blah. So this one is political. So again, what is the green? Just recap back, what's the green on this portion? We are using existing structure. We don't build new one, we just do landscape. But again, landscape is good. Green is really clear. And of course, we try to reduce social issues, because the previous Kongta Walk will become very, very awful. Then a lot of homeless people who keep going in and out from there. So it's a bad image of Kongta. And then efficiency, we just reuse the whole structure. Then we do some landscaping just to soften the area, because the area is, you have to make it nicer. And then it's a public space. At the end of the day, it's a public space. In Penang, especially in around Kongta area, we need more public space, more parks. Like one of the Siak Park is one of our projects. Siak Park is just a small portion, but again, if we have these small pocket parks, eventually it become bigger, green lung stuff within Kongta enclave. And then cost. We just take income from FMC and the parking. So that's how we recuperate the muscle. Okay, next is, it's like still in the works. It's one of our next vision for, especially for Bandar Kasia. As I mentioned, Bandar Kasia is our third satellite city. And now it's growing exponentially. I think previously it was slow and steady, but now it's like suddenly booming out in Bandar Kasia, Syabalawan. So we are planning for a financial hub. So the idea is to have all the banks and all financial related activity in one space. Because as you know, Bandar Kasia and Balikpapan are very well known for their MNC. These MNC, of course, they were using a bank services. These bank services, they can actually, we can make it, we can hub them in one area so that all banks, all the workers, all the factory can use these services within one area. They don't need to go to, like currently, certain banks, they're only in KL or other places. So it's all centralized because in northern area, we don't have any centralized financial hub. So this is an opportunity that NEC is taking so that Bandar Kasia becomes another iconic center for financials. And then this is, the area is around 22 acres. And then the GFA, we estimated around 4.5 million square feet with the total transaction cost around 670 million. So this is the development moment that I mentioned just now. We want a banking center, an insurance center. MNCs, they, of course, when you run a business or you run a factory, you need insurance. And then their insurance is different from a local requirement. They need to use insurance based on their HQ or based on their policy. So certain policy is higher standard than us. So again, it's an opportunity for us to make sure that this foreign companies open and to start business here. Of course, financial market, and then of course, we need the supporting areas as well to support the development. So this is the participant that we're expecting to occupy the area. Financial intermediaries, and then individual investor, and of course, issuers. These are mostly on the financial portion, the blue collar people. This is the service that I mentioned just now. What service that we expected to be open or to be operating from the financial hub? So based on our market study, this is the potential. This is the 5 biggest bank currently in Malaysia. And then of course, this is the financial management company, fund management company. So we are still approaching them, which company that they want to open HQ in Penang. And then we're also looking forward for digital bank. Currently, only 5 digital bank licenses issued in Malaysia by Bank Negara. But the thing is, do digital bank really need an office? Because digital bank literally operate online. So how are you going to approach them to open an HQ in Penang? Maybe it's a center or maybe just an office. Literally nowadays, when a certain bank they approach their current feedback is they don't need big building. They don't even need a counter anymore. Because they are currently their service with the client is based on appointment. No walk-in anymore. All online. So this is a unique approach. How we want to approach this potential investor. Now, of course, insurance company. This is the area. So basically, it's in the center of the area. You can see a lot of companies around it, so it's very, very strategic place to open the financial hub. This is a site. And then over here we have the Wollongong, here we have the design village. Now currently we are at site in Columbia Arcea Hospital. So a very strategic place for a business hub. Okay, this is just basically a normal site. Actually, currently PDC is planning a new linear park. Basically, it's actually rainwater catchment, rainwater catchment area, but we turn it into a landscape area. So it will be a very nice vista from the financial hub. But the thing is how to connect this to the linear park. Yeah, this is what we come up with initially. So the potential tenant will be along the edges of the site. And then we provide common services in the middle. And then from the main junction, we provide a landscape area or a public space so that the public is connected back to the linear pipe behind it. So basically, this is our first development that will be ESG compliant. And then we provide very good connectivity, walkable. So basically what we're doing is something that is walkable so that we have a common service in the center so everybody can walk from the center to their respective lots or respective building. And of course, we want a lower environmental impact building, good facility, and then of course, another iconic project. It will be the first financial hub in Penang. It's actually financial hub in Penang have been a lot in the pipeline for so long, but now we're trying to make it a reality. This is the, as you know, there's 70 basic points. This is the point that we are trying to score our sustainable portion, and then our financial inclusion. Because in ESG, there's one in the 10 and 16 where you need to promote equality to all. So this is the opportunity that we can fill in this portion of the ESG points. And then of course, responsible banking investment. This is also part of ESG actually, where you provide maybe certain banks, they provide you a green loan, for example, where they provide low interest for green projects or for green related projects. So I think in the future, in PDC project, we will require an ESG report or ESG compliance from the consultant and from the contractor. So they will be part of our system of projects. And then of course, education training for the area. Clean energy, yes, and then of course data reporting. I don't know what much data reporting mostly is how the whole area going to put in their info in the ESG report. So connectivity wise, I just go through this in like 10 minutes, right? Miss Chairperson? We should stop at 10, right? 10:50, okay. So this area, okay, as you know, currently in Bandar Pasir, there's no bus service. There's no, just maybe Grab, but Grab also very fastly available. So what we do is we try to make sure that the multimodal transportation, in the future, if they want to introduce a bus service, yes, they can be done. But again, we do a smart planning area with smart traffic system, smart traffic management system. And then of course, we try to minimize the usage. So basically, it's around 70%. On average, our current industrial park area, the land usage for, especially for roads and infrastructure, is around 20 to 25%. So this is considered very low. It's a one step forward. So this is what we plan to do, especially for the connectivity portion. For the road area, as you know nowadays, for industrial area, the services is usually below the road. So now what we are doing is we try to make the side of the road walk as part of the infrastructure cable reserve, so that they won't interrupt the road. Currently, our road patchy because like that. Correct, dia cable tambah, correct another cable, papan jalan tambah, that kind of thing. Then when you do resurface also, when you resurface wait on, that one got still going, cannot resurface speed it only, that kind of problem. So we try to minimize that kind of issues. And then we are trying to introduce a traffic calming system. We don't provide big road, but we try to make it as vibrant as possible, as natural as possible, where people slow down instinctively. Like when you introduce like sidewalks, and then when you're approaching the junction, it's better to have this kind of like curves nearer to the edges. It's good for the pedestrian, and then it's good for the driver itself, because automatically people will drive slower at narrow junction. So this is the facility. What we're trying to do is to provide one common facility in the middle, and then for the rest of the tenants, they can share the same facility. For example, we try to provide multi-story car park so that each of these developments, they just provide minimum car park requirement. They don't need to over-provide the car parks. In this case, one, you try to encourage them to less car usage. Two, we can again make profit from the car parks. So it's a check and balance system lah. And then in this common area also we can have like certain facility like a childcare center, a rumah ibadah. So it's all centralized and then it can be shared from all the rest of the family or the rest of the investor around. And then of course the workability, we try to make sure that all these roadside have a proper workability and all is connected under one layout. So it's not segregated, it's not isolated, it's very walkable. The keyword is walkable. Okay, this is the up and coming property that I mentioned. You have a very nice place that you can walk around. Because, for example, at lunchtime, they don't need to drive from their office. Because lunch break is only 1 hour, right? You don't need to drive around the area. You just walk from one point to one point. So it's time saving, it's less carbon footprint, yes, because you drive less. Okay, and then this is the low environmental impact portion. We are making the whole site to be GBI mandatory for all buildings. So all buildings should be either gold or platinum. So it's very high spec looking. We are expecting them, especially for the financial portion of financial service provider. And then of course we want to try to establish a public for electric vehicle station along the way. And then we try to integrate green design features for the panel on all buildings, especially now with current MDB requirement of DBI as 60% or 50% for common area for green energy. And then when we need to also introduce, fun facts, no fun facts, it's a fact. For industrial area, there's currently no green space provision, which means that all industrial areas they can build as big as one with no green area provision. So we want to introduce it as part of the development board Nusyarat. And it's an initiative. And of course, once you introduce this, you will reduce your PEI, your building energy intensity usage. That's the main target. Once you reduce your PEI, you reduce your carbon footprint. This one, iconic building, why we want iconic building in this area? Yes, a lot of people say, oh, iconic building waste of money, but actually there's an indirect impact to iconic building as well. Because it's represent a sustainable development, especially for BDC. So it's how we brand ourselves, it's how we introduce ourselves, it's how we promote ourselves. That's also important. Once you establish as a green building or very green friendly to investor, a lot of investors will be attracted to Penang. Because Penang, we don't have natural resources. So that's why we need to rely on sea. That's the only way that we can generate income. Due to that also, we need to have an alternative way to generate our own power, because we don't have natural resources, we don't have hydro, we don't have petroleum, we don't have natural gas. So we need to be creative in terms of create sources for renewable energy. So it's a main issue now. But in BDC, we are trying to tackle that. Later, I will show you just what we're doing next month. Okay, just skip forward. Okay, basically this is the breakdown of the whole area. So around 65% is contributed to the tenant, around 30% for the public, and then the rest is for the private services. This is what we plan, but definitely now based on the feedback from investors, they want a lower price building, a more friendly building. So it's good also because once you have a lower price building, you use that cost. So, but again, this is a proposal. Hopefully, it will become true. But it will take long time. We're targeting it within 10 years to start even. So, hopefully, everything goes well. Okay, what's next for BDC? So, in conjunction with BDC, Penang 2030, we are trying to integrate BIM in our contract. So maybe in the future, our project, we will start to have BBB for consultant, which means the consultant need to have a BIM certification to participate in EDC tender or EDC project. BBB for contractor as well. And then we try now to introduce a digital building record where all our building is recorded, all the submission. Because now council also going for digital submission. So it's logical as the next step that we have also digital building record. Because currently with physical record, there's also always a problem. Cannot find hilang too many files to search. And then we also having now asset management where okay, because PDC now our main investment is land, but now Penang we have less land, so we are moving forward. We are more to asset now. We are building more. We own our own building now, so that's why we need our asset management system, so that all our assets is in order, and then all our complaints from the tenant. Because once you have a lot of tenants, there's definitely will be a lot of complaints, a lot of questions. So once we have a digital system, it will be very convenient for us. We also have now our new subsidiary, Asset Care, which is in charge of all our industrial buildings. So they are the one who running our management on behalf of our FM. As building owner, we need our FM. So that's our next step. And then of course facility management through, because it can be linked back to PIN. So this facility management, we use back all the records, all the maintenance record, for example, all is in order in record. So you know, like after 10 years, okay, if things need to be replaced, or who install this equipment, then we can find out. Because usually if things break down, it takes time to find out who's responsible. This one goes to this one will blame this guy will blame this other guy, this guy will blame the other company, so we want to acquire. And then it's good also because it convinces our tenant, especially MNC tenant, that we are very responsive, especially in managing our own. We also have our own solar company now, the solar voltaic, where we mainly invest in solar power. So now all our buildings and our assets be installed with solar panel. And then next is solar farm. We are planning to do a solar farm at Pulau Borong boundary area. Because in Pulau Borong, there's a buffer zone around 100 acres. So we plan to develop it as a solar farm. So this solar farm, of course, is another alternative to RE. Because again, we don't have natural resources. This is the only way that we can produce renewable energy for Penang. And then of course, now from there we have solar battery. Solar battery is still in discussion with TME because TME has certain restriction against solar battery. And then of course with Bomba also, because Bomba they are now revisiting the requirement right now. And then all our assets, all our facilities will be having a EV station. So this is part of our initiative. Like just now we take the tax space, tax area. Also we'll be installing solar panel, and then we'll be having an EV charging station as well. Next, we are also venturing to waste to energy. Waste to energy means how we want to turn our waste to energy. This is another way to produce energy. Because okay, Penang, the only dump site currently we're using is Pulau Borong dump site. Pulau Borong dump site will be full by another 20 to 30 years, which is alarming. Even now, our Jelutong dump site also take time to recover for development. So we need to think what's next for our future generation. After 20, 30 years, definitely Pulau Borong cannot hold any more rubbish. So one of the ways is to introduce a pyrolysis center where you burn everything. But again, when you are burning, you are producing energy. We try to make it as sustainable as possible, where the byproduct also can be used. So the byproduct from the burning of rubbish, you can use it as a tarmac, you can use it as a building construction material. So there's a lot of potential there that we are seeing. And then next, what's next? Battery. We're looking forward for having a battery system, power right. So it's separate from solar battery. It's not a purely EV battery, just for building. So how we, this one is still under discussion, how we implement it. And then hydrogen power plant. This is also another venture that we're trying to put in the, because as you know, when you go to First Bridge, right, you see all these new pylons design, right? Okay. When this pylons are operational, the current TMB power plant in next to Lotus, everybody knows Lotus, right? Will be decommissioned. So what we're doing is we are discussing with the TMB to turn that into a hydrogen power plant, so that we can provide extra energy to the, especially now since a lot of development going on in Penang. So power demand is huge now. That's why this is one of the venture that we're looking into. Sorry. And then aeroderivative. Aeroderivative is mostly means that you generate power from air. So this one is also another venture. This one is also in a discussion. So this one, I'm not very familiar with particular yet, but it's a very, very interesting venture. And then last but not least, nuclear. Fun fact, nuclear is the safest and greenest energy around. So it's just people's perception of nuclear power. But yeah, how to change public perspective is a bit difficult, especially when we involve politicians, NGOs, and government. But okay, we are moving forward, we are moving to that. At the end of the day, we have no choice. So that's all for me for today. I hope everybody has a great time. Please, when you have questions later, please ask, don't be shy. And then before I just want to promote our competition, AI challenge. Why AI will be explained by my colleague, why, but here I mean is how to think beyond what is you normally thinking of green. Green doesn't necessarily mean just put a green facade, green. No. It's how you make it, how you relate to the context itself. How you want green. For me, I simplify it this green in terms of okay, green lights from the authorities, from the public. Then you have green light in terms of the occupants. And then of course you have green in terms of money. So all is related. Not necessarily means that green just put green things on building. No, it's all like a whole big circle thing. So please register for interesting price. Oh, sorry, for interesting price. Please do register. All right, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much for being here today. On behalf of the program, this is actually a welcoming speech because at the moment I'm based here attending the studio's master's program. So this is our master's studio for the 4th year and 5th year, also year 1, year 2 masters. Okay, thank you very much for being here today. The dean is not here, but Dr. Mazlan, our head of department, is here. Okay, I have nothing much to say, but I would like to congratulate the students team as well as the Northern Chapter team for being able to have our first collaborated event here at the MArch Studio. We have done a few programs actually with PAM Northern Chapter recently during the Heritage Day at the Town Hall. So that was also great because there were also CPD points. Before this, we had our exhibition for the final year master's program, also here at the studio. That was 5 CPD points, I think for 3-4 days stretch. So that was also a very good initiative. Architect Francis insisted to have the event here today, which means that, this is a good get-together for all the alumni. We have been getting a lot of support for our alumni. Thank you very much. Other than that, if you are also here, I hope that there'll be more events coming and there's be more collaboration with the industry. That's what we do. We started BIM 5 years back That was also due to our hand-in-hand collaborative with the industry. So we are here also trying to prepare the students for the future. Some of you were saying, there's a lacking in the students in the industry. Masters also in the undergraduate program. We have external CRE panels to actually evaluate all of our students' work. And in the semester, they come in twice with 10 group of finalists. Of course, for the final year and for the master's final year, this is the good time for you to start the new results. So that happens for
我当时看着好像是怀孕了，是吧？
actually,
看不清了。你这个屏幕大，你放到大屏幕上看一下。
natural
是大的问题，是那个
你放到这个屏看一下，我感觉是怀孕了，我操！
and also interesting.
是吧？
Maybe wait anymore. AI design. I think now the lectures we are also very much aware of this AI. Okay, so much that we want to push for technology. See that the fundamentals. So thank you very much. Okay, so I hope you all will enjoy the session today. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Now we move on to the second presentation of the day. Please join me welcoming our second speaker from the architect, Jethro Khoi, the director of Burj Architects Suriabahan and also an award-winning architect of the Malaysia's 40 under 40 emerging architects, which has its innovative approach towards AI programs like ChatGPT, Gemini Pro AI, and Mini. So let's give a big applause to them.
Mic test. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and babies. Okay, it's always good to be back here at UNAC. Simply because I'm also an alumni of USM. Okay. So, just curious, how many people are from USM here? Raise your hand, raise it high, raise it proud. Whoa, okay, so many. Thanks for coming here to listen, to support. For those who are not from USM, it's okay. We are all architects. Wait, are there any other people who are like non-architects here? Except for like Joey. It's okay. This talk, you are one of us. Okay. Without further ado, I would just like to first of all express my gratitude to Airport Center for organizing this. PAD, for the chairman for this, and also he's the one who actually approved this, I guess. Right. I'd like to thank Oil Laminate for sponsoring this talk. Okay. And also, the most important one, HPP USM, because we are awesome. Okay. Just a little bit about ourselves. I'm actually based in KL, Burj Architects. Okay. This is our team. Just a small, mid-sized firm. Okay. They're growing, hopefully. And without them, I wouldn't be here today because I was rushing their work. So I guess they are good luck. Okay, the clients that we serve, not much, but at least they have logos. We do a lot of landed housing. A lot, like 90% is landed housing. And once in a while, we get a private projects. And most of our projects are very square, okay, easy to build, easy to maintain, no funny problems. And sometimes I like to explore, and if I get opportunity, I will do crazy things like build buildings. Okay. The one on the right, you probably see this in a KLIA2 departure hall. Hopefully it gets built. Hopefully. Okay. I am not, glory to God that I'm being blessed with awards. Okay. Yeah, so until this point, I'm like quite a decent architect for doing what I'm supposed to do. Projects, win awards sometimes, and try to be better one project to another. Okay. So the thing is, the fact that I win so many awards, win these few awards, kind of like means I'm more of an experimental kind of person. I like to push boundaries of design a bit, and most of it, if you look at the awards, probably 70% are competition based. Okay, which brings me down to some competitions that I get to do. If you look at it, this is actually the first competition that sparked all these things. Okay? The one here, Beyond Borders, okay? It was a student jamboree thing. I guess Dr. Elgin is here. Dr. Elgin now. Okay. I believe Kang Yang was there also during the UIA. Okay. So that was my first competition. And then when you win one, you get like high already. And I keep entering the of it. So second one was I'm just going to highlight these three already. The Penang Rifle Range, I want to the prize, and then the Malaysian Architect Award. That's Daniel for those who know him. One thing you see is that the good thing is the price gets higher and higher. And I'm actually quite proud of my juniors now. I see all these bomb check plug here also means the tradition get carried on. Okay, so congratulations to yourself. There's also something bad if you guys know this. The hair gets less and less, and then I'm getting fatter. Okay, so be careful. Some competitions are kind of like worldwide, like Evolo. When you win like this, they will like promote you on the internet. So like your Google search term will be like suddenly so up very high. That kind of competitions. So at some point I realized the competition that I win kind of like becomes buildings that cannot be built. In my previous firm, my boss said, "Oh, Jethro is the architect that designs buildings that cannot be built. It's expert there." So yeah, it's this kind of thing. So then I was like, there's so many competitions for other. It's like, things cannot be built. And that brings me to the next thing. I try to create my own world whereby all these things can come to life. Okay. So here I am trying to destroy the world and then reimagine it to whatever I want. Okay. So it's like a kind of personal project thing. And if you look at it, all these things are done with AI. All these things are actually before AI was there. Okay. That's my level of sweetness or level of graphics. Okay. So we create this thing called Neoterra, New Earth, for the Neoterra universe. And inside there, of course, the first thing is you need to find a team of crazy people, crazy enough to believe in the story and do all these crazy things. See, Saga is that he's an artist, he's a 3D sculptor, social media story writer. The story writer crazy one, like 1 month writing stories, and at some point, we were like every scene, every city we have a story. It's not like faster than this hour. So I'm the guy who will be creating those. So we create our own civilizations against all these diseases. It's all ketchup. Okay, and some point we create our whole world. Okay. This is the biggest site plan I've ever drawn. Because it's continental plan, it's like a continent. So we create our own. Like Pangea, tectonic plates moving during the dinosaur age. Like assuming you comment heat Pacific Ocean and push all
all the continents back to this kind of thing. So we are launching this first, and then the cities that we design, we kind of have our own countries, working out all these things. Trade relations between country, currency, credits, the story writer crazy. Okay. We try to do our own transportation. Okay, again, SketchUp. We do our own then we do our own monsters. This is the world we can imagine. And this is real. I mean, I do this. This is not AI. Okay. In case you don't believe me, I just get it. At some point, Pokemon came out, and then I threw the pen out thing, which pissed our followers a lot. Then things got a bit crazy, you know. Jiman, you remember Paul, right? He sent me a contact in China that was mass production. Okay, it's the job. Really prototype. Find some Gundam champion artist in Asia, pay the thing, let's produce it in China, ship whole world. Kind of. I say we went a bit crazy. Then this thing like tried a bit, got us delayed for 5 years. Then he didn't. He come back to do again, doing the real thing. This was when we were trying to catch the NFT place up. We tried to come back to do it for the story of Neoterra. Okay. So then that begs the question: what is world? You know, here I am doing architecture every day in office, and then there my passion project is about that. Okay. So what is work? And if you look at it, architects being architects, we have time for it. Okay. Some of us work until late, 12 o'clock, some of us even overnight at office, that's all that we have time. So this is where I need a solution. Back then, I needed a solution because I don't have time. And the story writer write so fast. And so I needed things to help me with image generation. Started with there were a few AI like apps for that. This is before Midjourney came, and this is my NVIDIA. Okay. They have this thing called Canvas AI to create landscape images, and it was a bit kindergarten. Not consistent. At least a lot later. But back then you see funny things like this. It seemed really good. And up until the point where Tengah Jalan, Midjourney, probably the correct translation is Tengah Jalan. Okay. I found it because there was this friend who posted this on Facebook, and then he was like, posted it, and I saw it, I was like, gosh, I saw the post. Shopping like crazy last year. Okay. No time to go shopping, no time to do that. I was supposed done in a few seconds. Okay, still no time. So I tried out, back then it was this kind of like AI quality 2 years ago. 2 years and 3 months ago. So that was Midjourney, and the first image I actually tried out to see whether it works or not. Is this, you know, kind of simple futurist. I mean, back then I don't know what's cropping, but writing some words on futuristic library in a trillion code, somewhere about cinematic, clean Unreal Engine, that kind of words come out already. Okay? Because it's like gaming, we're talking about gaming. So back then I read all these things in. I don't have overgrowth is because there are certain keywords that actually words that we don't know, but actually we want it. For example, overthinking, vegetation, trees, shrubs, all coming up. Okay. So you see the other words like solar pump. It's like very futuristic. A lot of solar panels, green energy, that kind of architecture. Okay. So there are words that we need to learn. This is done in 22nd August 2022. So it's nearly 2 years already. So first few images generated, and it was version 3. Okay. So with the same prompt, what does it look like for different versions? Okay, this is in about this is August 2022. This is March, January 2022. And it's, as we progress, V1, V2, all the way until V6.1. This is just not yesterday, 2 days ago. So this is how it moved over time, span of 2 years. Okay, so 2 years you see from this to this, at quarter 1 of 2 to, it's like a nursery or monkeys building or what will be. I can't really see it, but back then when I saw this, I was high. It's gonna change my life. It's gonna like hit forward. And nowadays, 2 years later, when I see this, wow, why? Yeah, normal already. Why did I? Why was it so high back then? Okay. So, of course, when you see things improve, I try to ask myself, why is it like that? How can it be AI good for me or bad for me? It like take over my machines, and later machine uprise to me as well. So I need to understand what AI is. And to put it short, I can give you a few bit answer. But AI, a summary of it is that AI is, put the word AI is artificial intelligence, okay? Not architect's expression. So AI is the simulation of human intelligence processed by machines. That means the machine try to be, but at the moment it can never be. So if you ask me, the best that the machine can do is as good as the best of us. That's it. It cannot be, because whatever AI does, it learns from what humans can do. Okay. At the moment, it cannot be better than us, theoretically. So I think it's an important graph if you are like a macro person. The innovation of cycles over the many, many decades, you see things like, first wave in water power, something. Then second wave is DC steam power. These are things that, every wave revolutionizes human civilization. Okay, and if you look at it after the fourth wave, back then all these things are historical. You can see it's actually accurate. And then by the time we need to predict what's the sixth wave. Okay, and 1 year ago when I presented this in technology factor, it was like saying maybe. But if you look at it now, a lot of companies worldwide and they are actually doing AI now. Okay. So if you ask me, I'm confident now that AI is the sixth wave. But everyone else is trying to figure out how to regulate it and how to control it. Okay. Theory of diffusion of innovation. I think it's also very important graph because we need to know where we stand, where our products stand in terms of market acceptance. For example, it's good to know where you stand also. Innovators are people who actually innovate things. Early adopters are those crazy people who believe in you and actually support your product. And at early maybe those who are even successful of the early influencers, the early adopters can really use it. Then the big majority are the people who are like, wow, use it, I have to use it. That kind of the laggards are the people who like, there's no more that product, something else better. They have the previous one that they were using all finished, they have to use this thing. So these are the laggard. Where do we stand? I used to be late majority in laggard. But when it comes to, nowadays, I think it's good for us to try new things, try to understand new things and experience new things. So I'm trying to push myself to be on the earlier stage. Okay. Of course, if you are an innovator, you'll be learning from mine. So where is all this AI? It's a wide spectrum. It's looking at Midjourney and ChatGPT. I would place them in this section. Okay. Midjourney is actually Midjourney is an image generation AI. So not everyone uses it. Okay. Not everyone needs to use it. We are very visual based. We have to use it. So unfortunately, I think the mass market is not there. If you are Japanese, I believe not the same. And for ChatGPT, it's something that anyone can use. Okay. You see people who are rich, who are poor, different race and different spectrum of the society, people use ChatGPT for engineering. How is it? Last year it was early majority. I think this year it has come to late majority. Okay. How is AI performing compared to human? So there are certain things that AI can do better than human. This is human performance. That means at 100% of human performance means this is probably like a general best of what we can do. Okay. But as I've said just now, AI cannot be better than human. Why are all these like human better than us? Okay. If you consider the fact that things like, for example, speech recognition, for instance, they can, because it's AI, it has no limit. For us, we listen, we translate or what is just a human factor. But this, they're doing at a massive scale. They're doing it at more accuracy. We have human errors. Okay. AI solves this kind of problem. They can scale the machine with more efficiently than us. So there are things that they're actually performing better in the sense that more on efficiency and performance. But in terms of creativity and ingenuity and more, I would say, human endeavor, you are looking at least 100%. Okay. So a lot of things, machines are actually doing something. Okay. If you see simple things like you go into some car parks, I'm not sure whether KL has it or not, but in KL there are some car parks, you drive in, you don't even need to take a ticket, you scan your, it already looks at your, scans your PIN number, and then based on AI, it can already detect your number. Okay. So things like this, imagine the human can do is what? Have a guard sit there and then look at your number plate right now. That is a very inefficient way of doing things. So AI is there supposedly to do all this kind of repetitive tasks that no human wants to do. Okay. But look at it. Now they are going to a lot of creative stuff already. Now, common tools for AI, last year it was 120. This year, it's coming to 100,000. I mean, some websites even say if you search for ChatGPT or Gemini, it will tell you in millions really. Okay. But Pareto principles, 80-20 principle, you don't need to learn everything. Usually you can learn the 20% of things that gives you 80% of value. Okay. Here you don't need 20%, just need 5%, you are very good already. So today I'll talk on things. 3 things on AI. One is on text generative AI. Second one is on image generative AI. The one is on the video generative AI. So I'll start off with text generative or AI chatbots. Okay, the one that I'm going to focus on, okay, the ones that I would like to focus is ChatGPT and Gemini. Okay, the ones circled. Now, what is the criteria of a good generative AI? Okay. First thing is, of course, accuracy. It's the only thing that you can get from the internet or ChatGPT. But I would like to highlight things that I think is more important. Accuracy has to be there. No point you play talk with that. AI chatbot only tells you wrong things. Creativity. Ask to write a poem, write a letter. Flexibility, you know, you can actually use it for different things. For example, people write in journalism, and people who write in architectural book, it's different language. You have to have the kind of flexibility language. Ease of use. For me, a good product should be easier to children can use. You don't need to be so complicated or whatsoever. You need to learn coding or something. So I'll start off with ChatGPT. So if you look at ChatGPT, it's a very successful app because it grew to 100 million users in just 2 months. Okay. This is how much other companies, other famous companies, successful companies took to get 100 million users. Okay. And you know, and it's, I mean, let's take one that 3.5 years. ChatGPT 200. sometimes they have problem with scaling and they cannot, you need to like really sign in to use it. That was in about May. You will have to like look for some SPD, you only can use ChatGPT. So what kind of, so it's basically a conversation model developed by OpenAI. Now it's GPT-4 architecture. It's neural natural language thing you talk with like different. It's trained from it's text-based human response, trained on a diverse data set on the internet, but the data set is from the April of 2023. Okay? It's not real time, it's not today. Okay? So whatever you ask, don't ask before the April 2 things. Don't talk about, don't ask him about previous things. You cannot answer him, move on, go. So the power of ChatGPT, or at least ChatGPT back then, people actually use it to answer. He actually passed the exams, the medical school exams, US, law school, MBA, graduate. It's that powerful. So when I saw this article, I was like, ready to check it out. What's so hebat about this app? Okay. I mean, we all like. It was so powerful back then without filter that you can actually use it to hack Microsoft installer. They can give you the generate code for you back then. That's why some countries like Italy, at some point ban it. Then they reinstate it. So over time, regulation comes in. Then the answers again nowadays is referred to the employer. It is best to solve a question of this method, that sort of thing again. Usage, it has many usage. I mean, this is part of it, the ones that we are going to highlight. Students, you can check your language. I say copy everything and put it there. So, and do research. Designers, architects can generate concepts and philosophies ideas. Lawyer, I find it especially useful for lawyers because they need to read a lot of case studies before and then the things by the clients, the sort of thing before the lawyer. So a few examples, trying to test out how good ChatGPT is. Okay, is it creative? So I asked you the question, quite important of the name is Anna Banana. Okay, so here it goes. I mean, quite simple. I'm just going to read the person. In the bowl of dreams where colors are, these are the Anna Banana, sweet and bright, spreading sunshine day and night. Okay, of course, if I write more, give it more information, you will adhere to it. Okay, then for those lucky guys out there, now you have ChatGPT lah. Then it's funny joke, what's wrong? Oh, this sweet talk was generated. Then us guys need like learn sastra and this kind of thing like that. So knowledge, I just want to test it out. What are the changes from Malaysia's Architects Camp Corp 2006 to 2018? Okay, so in this one, we did a major CUT. So I find it quite accurate. This paid version. Okay, I accidentally use the paid version. Nowadays, it's actually. Okay, so you think that it's a worldwide thing? Can be some Malaysia thing. It's a Malaysia architects thing. Malaysia architects, those who use platform, there are many checkdowns and other things. But it can even go to this detail. Okay. A test of empathy. My client didn't pay me. Question is, I'm an architect. After construction, client didn't pay me. I use should I sue the client? Then, so I'm sorry to hear about the situation. Before deciding to sue, you should check out one option. I mean, if you have never run a business before and you follow this, I think you won't go wrong. It's not that wrong. When all these fails, then you need legal action. Okay. If you ask the fresh grad me and sue not sue. People will ask, I say that not wrong, but I think it's the way of doing things. Okay. So just for now, design approach. An architect, I need to design a model bungalow. Sorry, a model bungalow for a client and uses bonsai as a concept. It's let me know how to approach it. So yeah, they came up with so many things. And then again, if you don't know anything about bonsai, it actually works. My company now is into bonsai architecture, and looking at it, a lot of things actually make sense. Water management, there's thing about lots of light, that sort of thing. So I read through everything. You follow it, you can't go wrong. Okay. So it also depends on how you ask questions. Okay, which comes to this prompt guide. For me, you can search this up on the internet. You can actually ask ChatGPT or Gemini. But for me, after years, I realized things I need to put is context. You need to put context of the things you thought your answer. Like for example, pen. At some point, you search pen, it comes out. Okay, it's not particular. So okay, that's why I'm an architect in Malaysia. And you just put pen and okay, task I need to concept right out for okay, condition. Give it a Malaysian name for house. House is a design. House is the sustainable eco-friendly. Okay, give it condition. If not, it will generate whatever they want to make. House. Then output. You can even ask it to put it in table or in the form of a poem. Okay. So, and then if you don't, for me, this poem is enough. And then as you do not get the results that you want, you refine prompts. ChatGPT nowadays, especially the paid version, you get to upload a file and synthesize the file and things that he can refer to it, and generate things in front of it. For example, let's say I'm Chinese that doesn't know Mandarin. So if I take a picture of some Mandarin words, upload it, and then it can actually explain to me. Okay, and then you will of course answer to me in English. So nowadays you can have the ChatGPT for a certain amount. Okay, then after that you revert back to the free one. Yeah, it's limited access. Okay, when you finish, you go back to the original. Price is like this. Depends on what kind of book you're doing. I have friends who are into marketing or those who are doing they pay for this. It makes sense to them. So what's the difference? Version 3.5 and 4. 3.5 is the free one. You get 4. Okay. Itself correctly, you can use a bit more. So just to compare, the answer that they give, what is an architect? Okay. The free version is, I'm just going to highlight the simple ones. An architect design buildings and other structures. Simple. And the paid one will answer, an architect is the professional responsible for designing buildings and other physical structures. Okay, so that's the quality of answers you get free and paid. Okay. It's better in terms of detail. Yeah. Probably understand the context more. Okay. If not, they will think architect is the programmer. Architect knows the one is programming. So in ChatGPT, you actually upload, install the plugin to wait and use this kind of, like, consider it like a booster. For example, OpenTable allows you to set the restaurants available in the United States. It's more detailed. I still feel I don't need it personally. There are things like law. Okay, depends on what you want to achieve. How ChatGPT works. ChatGPT, for you to understand how ChatGPT works, you kind of need to know how the machine learns and what they're how to give you answer. First of all, they went through a lot of rigorous testing. Later demonstrates the desired output. Means to give you a question, you answer for you, and then you teach it what is a good answer, what's a bad answer. Then at some point, you start to rank after many rounds. There are good answer, bad answer. Start to learn which answer is better than which answer, and then the ranking. At some point, you start to create a reward model that calculates the reward for output. That means went through a lot of this, and this will become for you to achieve A, then you get what that's all the reward for this. So it was trained to understand what is a good answer on many data sets, and it is say, rewarded for it to do what is going on. So this is the kind of learning that gone through. And then the answer that give you realize that most of the time it's not exactly the same answer. Okay? In fact, if I ask the question now, and then in 5 minutes later I ask the same question, the language runs a bit. If you ask it half a year later, it runs a lot. Okay? You don't get the same thing every time you ask the same question. Because it went through learning and it is continuously learning also. And again, probably one question we need to ask ourselves, am I allowed to use ChatGPT? It's okay, but I actually use it. I use it for my firm. I write one from the brand. So the use of service is actually non-exclusive. That means whatever they give to you, you own that. Okay. You own the panel from that point. Some other people who get something similar to it also owns it. I mean, not say owns it, it's everyone can own it. Everyone can use it. Indemnity, you also very smart. Whatever you do, it's your problem. Go back. Okay. So if you do it, you ask to calculate your return of investment, and then you run the business, you realize you don't get the return of investment, it's your problem. It's cost less than our value. Okay, very powerful tool. The next one I'm going to talk about is Gemini. It's actually by Google. Okay. And it's free. Same thing, you can upload the image, you can answer you. Okay. So whatever ChatGPT can do, Gemini can do. Okay. So let's show how is it better or worse. I upload a file of this image, and then I ask it, please provide a concept write-up of this two-story bungalow for an architect's presentation. Okay. So it generate all these things. I think it's RB182 house. Concept, very minimalist residence. Okay. Striking white facade, contrasting black granite base. Looks like it. Green roof, nonsense. So it can actually recognize the image and describe the image. What the hell is RB182 house? That was when I realized the picture I got was actually RB182 house. Is actually somehow it detected it. Search it out. I mean, it's in their database. They gave me a right up. Scary. But what's the difference between ChatGPT and Gemini? It's for me, I agree to this because this one how I use it for. In ChatGPT, if you look at it, it focuses on creativity and very engaging conversation. Whereas Gemini uses more on reports, very formal usage, accuracy and transformation. The strength is on creativity, writing, diverse knowledge, and Gemini is more on reliable text and multimodal understanding. So it's a very, ChatGPT is on the creative side, Gemini is more on like a commercial accuracy, research side kind of thing. Okay. Witness may provide correct information. Gemini is more as fluid as conversation model. It means ChatGPT is more human than Gemini. Okay. For building projects and Gemini is for research, knowledge, these kind of things. Data set. ChatGPT is on April 2023. Gemini is as of today, it's live. Okay. It's Google. So personally, I still use both. I like to cross-check because I still don't fully trust AI, even though I'm giving a lot now. But I still use both to cross-check the text before I issue. Now, this was presented last year in Bank Model Chapter 223. The prompt was, can an architect in Malaysia charge below the lowest price? What is the act? So I compared the ChatGPT 3 paid and back then Gemini was called Google Bar. So it was this busy Gemini. So the first one, the way yeah, and when this one, it depends on the examiner need to synthesize and understand what you're pricing. ChatGPT still ignore a bit, but at least when I read it, it's better worded. It actually gives me the cost to hear it before. Okay, what's rudely, and rudely it states that you have to charge below University of for is about how we calculate the construction cost. So comparing ChatGPT paid to Gemini, it's the same thing as now. Again, ChatGPT paid to Gemini. Gemini, it can be good and four. But answer no. Okay, that's how we should answer part B. No. The actually look at it, I know it says no. And quite nice, keep mandatory requirements. Potential consequences if you read about the and then ask you to refer to the context where you actually got this info. Okay, but I mean, I actually like the way they structure the questions, but it didn't give you nutrient info. Okay, I wish it did. Yeah, it's true. Gemini, but it doesn't. So you still have to make your decisions. For me, I feel useful. Okay. Sorry, what time do I have? Yeah. Okay, so this is the text generating. I'm going to talk about the AI generator, image generator. AI. Let me just form some muscles for AI. This actually involved the competition for the Opera session. Then first prize, very digital, that is some support. Every other artist use their upload skill to promote this guy, this AI and submitted for first prize. Then also Wuhan. This is another competition, Sony will photograph for prize. Again, for this competition, the competition didn't stipulate that what media you use the internet, let's say stuff. Even the photographic information, they were allowed to Photoshop the photo. Okay, so this guy submitted this for the edition and two girls paying with identity. And he won first prize for creative category by this guy. And he also like see that take the prize. It uses and there are people who use AI to generate comics. It's easier if you can put a character that looks like Zendaya. So it's by this girl. She's from Ukraine, then moved to US, the Ukrainian trade. And then she was experimenting with a lot of AI mid-journey until the point that Adobe hired her, and then she developed Adobe Firefly. I mean, she's not I don't think she's the lead, but she was engaged to work for this. So, a lot of AI and get a job. So, this is an example of, I guess, Mona Lisa. It form or respond something. This is what AI can do. Journey of journey, like what I showed now, this is V1 back then time. You see how it has improved. Okay. Maybe it's harder to see. I use Mr. Bean. This is from this to this. Okay. AI is improving. But if you ask me over the last this year, 2024, the rate of improvement is a lot less than 2023. Okay. It's like it improves year to year. Back then, it was a lot more quality of the images, 3D animation, some funny jokes, if you put the prompt salmon in the river, it understands salmon as the sashimi salmon that we eat, that salmon in the river. Okay. People like to make memes and funny things, Emma Stone had a baby. Okay, what? So, baby. Can what? Elvish, Presley. Back then, image has a lot of these kind of problems. Okay? You're looking at version 3 to 4. Yes, a lot of these kind of problems whereby it doesn't fully understand yet. The hands, especially for an artist, I realized is the hardest part to draw. Okay, same thing goes for AI. Back then, you have this kind of funny hands, does that make sense? But over time, it improved. Nowadays, you get this a lot. If you look at a lot of AIs out there, the paid version tends to give you this. The free version gives you this kind of thing. So, they want to earn your money also. Zaha Hadid is very, Michael Schumacher actually, he actually champions all these things. Sorry, Patrick Schumacher. He's into AI. When the top few architects in the world is into AI, kind of makes us think of should we go into AI? But AI is very easy. For example, if you talk Zaha Hadid, they usually get down, right? But we as designers, if we determine architects, you still be Zaha Hadid style. You Zaha Hadid's right? Good. So individuals that are very influential in AI, these are people that I follow. If you look at them, they have millions of followers kind of level. They are both from Zaha Hadid context. Tim Fu actually came out last year and then he started to train his own AI and develop his own AI. Which later you look at okay. Prompting. Again, the way you prompt it is important because it's like, do you know how to ask the right question? For example, you need to have a description, what happens to the background scene, atmosphere, ambience, and the parameters. It's like this. Okay. So best to write in this sequence. If you put the atmosphere in the front, it focuses on the atmosphere, not the subject. Okay. If you put the subject at the front, it focuses on the subject. Okay. Later you can put colon 3 or 4, right? For example, if I want to highlight the forest, you put colon 3. That means give it a weightage 1, 2, 3, any number. Then it will highlight certain things. Okay. Hand comparison, basic to Mega. Mega Pen is for you have a few at the same time, a few people using it. ProPen is ProPen onwards, whatever you generate, people do not see. Basic and standard plans, other people can see. So depends whether you want to let people see or not. I don't. Midjourney in architecture. So now I'm focusing into architecture using Midjourney. So this is the level of. Again, last year I gave the same talk 1 year ago. This slide still looks good today. Okay. And again, it didn't improve much. So these are the kind of image that you can generate from Midjourney. Okay. Kind of detailings. This is a kind of ambience you want to set, and within design looks good enough, This is good. This is a hotel at the hillside. All these are generated by Midjourney. So, anything is when you put human scale into design, it somehow makes it more interesting. Commercial buildings using timber, something more green. Interior as well. I think a moss artwork there. This is something I like very much. Rusted panels that generate this kind of thing. So different style. Just now we talk about versatility. and it can do sketches. 3D model, I mean, as in the physical model. Of course, if you look at things, still not resolved, what is this? What is this? Here got the panel, and here don't have, I mean, I guess if you're a lecturer in cities, you should go there a lot. This is something I learned using Midjourney. It's called knolling. Knolling is arrangement of things in a way that pleases the eye. Okay. Some people use it for some experimentation. This is interesting. This is generated by Adobe Firefly. This is the Opera, Sydney Opera House. What if you imagine it in Zaha Hadid design? So if Zaha Hadid were to design it, you know, like this. Frank Lloyd Wright, Corbusier. This is how the Sydney Opera House would look like if done by these architects. Very interesting things that you never thought it would happen, but you can try it out. These are all experimentations. This is a house floating using light vests. Things that, there are things that you cannot generate. Okay? Things like, okay, you spend us, I can say whatever, right? You cannot say things like movies, you cannot say things like sex, kind of thing. So these are the things that, thing I would like to highlight is, very funny thing, you cannot generate quantum of it. It was like, but it's something that actually witness it. At the early stages, people actually make fun that they generate us each other. But then, you actually realize that you cannot. And those people, those users, they actually complain. And then over time, I learned, now this, you cannot generate. Okay. These are actually how AI is integrated. Okay. Adaptive reuse, you can use it to imagine spaces. Or we use a go down factory and recycle clay, having it to be more eco-friendly again. Real architecture, things like you see in sci-fi movies, it can go very crazy. Hotel under the sea. It can be in the form of anime style, like this, like came out from Studio 3D, sort of thing. This was something very interesting, how architecture integrates Asian place, Santorini, Mount Fuji, place in Egypt, Thailand, Indonesia, Maldives, Antarctica, Iceland, can generate something surrounding. Remember that thing that you see in the KLIA School departure board, that tower thing. So at that place, at the center, we actually have a seashell. I wanted a seashell on top of the podium. Then I had to design a seashell. Then I had to start doing it, and then she was like, I can't handle it. And then we had 3 days. 3 days, 5 days, 5 days to face the presentation. And being an architect is still good. I give 2 options. One, I train myself, with the start again. The other one, use AI. Make it look like we did a lot of things. So we kind of the seashell on the convention center. So we did like a good study, kind of seashell again. It's like probably stadium. Very tall, biomimicry. I am the one biomimicry. Why? And these are the options that we generate. And then at some point, we feel like, shit, so much more options. What can we do about it? Control everything. And we need to learn from it. Okay, go study, how the seashell terminate to the ground. That sort of thing. Sun, how much important is the roof, how much important is the sun. So we develop principles out of all the AI generated images. Not funny thing, now we are a machine, we are machine learning from machine. Okay. The principle, for example, principle one that we found out, the roof can be designed to merge into the landscape. Normally the shell is the shell on top. Okay. Then the secondary roof feature of main roof, so the seashell or something. Okay. So we can actually then my team, the one basically doing things it is seashell open on the sea flow or something. Okay. And so this is what we do. And in the end, we present the final options, this one and all the AI generated images. And then the client was like, yeah, I like it, but can you go back to previous slides before that? This one, it looks like our company logo. So this situation, AI, it does okay. Because the client likes this more, because it has meaning to them. The S is their logo. They want this. I mean, it makes sense. And I was like, if you look at all this, I just gave this option. The client was like, I like, but can you improve? How to improve? Oh no, what just improve? Okay, so the client, sometimes the client don't know how to articulate their thoughts. And these are things that can actually help them reach that gap. So this is a competition entry for Evolve. Okay. If you look at it, it's a crazy competition idea. It's a skyscraper idea. The site was actually, if you look at people, now this across the subside where you see those mountains being destroyed, so this what I was like thinking of, and we actually think around it sort of thing. So I went to I submitted this to Evolve. It was shortlisted, didn't win, but shortlisted, and these are kind of designs that we came up. So that was like probably 10 years ago. And AI came this further. So this is the rest of it all generated by AI. Each need to be precise. So floating mountains, building inside mountains, green facade, glass, inside looking out. It can come out with section, of course not accurate. Kind of section the lecture was over. And, this is version 4. This is version 5.2. Okay. Becomes like 4. Everything looks more resolved, more blending. Okay. So it's AI inside the table out. Okay. So more in the later. I mean, it's nice imagery. If you ask me, does it solve anything? Is it maybe commercialized? It depends on how you want to use it. Okay. You can never get it from yourself. You can never come above that and have an animation at home. It's just nice image for you to inspire you, give you a concept. Okay. We generally don't have other features, for example, zoom out. This is the check and go scene in Thailand. So you ask it to zoom out, and you will generate this. We kind of look at this. Actually, most of the AI nowadays have this. Okay. This is the image you ask it to generate the surrounding background, which is not background. I mean, background using the main on the. Funny errors. For example, this is the original image. You ask it to generate something below, it becomes like this. Okay. Again, this was art here, but nowadays less error. A building, when you zoom it out, looks like this. Surrounding is a limestone hill. Wow, I mean, it's growing and growing, and I don't know, but then it becomes very dark image. Wow. If you want to explore sustainable designs, things to trigger you, to inspire you, that kind of imagery, garden plots, living house, gardens. If you want to look at building an architecture of a well-designed, big-to-line hydro. I mean, all these things are just nice imagery to stimulate your concept. I'm going to be no, really not that actually. Okay. These are more relevant principles that I was designing. Okay. Solar panels, nowadays I'm paying to USM, wow, so many solar panels covering the car, which is very good. Okay. How can you use solar panel, all these buildings, using solar panel as a feature. Think about solar panels. You're in Star Wars, so bad also. Yeah, because when here are actually solar panels. Okay. So I try to do an adaptive reuse of all these Star Wars ships, how if the Empire fall, then the rebels not, salvage their thing and something more useful. Can I? That kind of approach. What's inside the ID, the lobby, upgrade room, spend traveling or upgrade room, and so on. Of course, it's also form of this user set characteristic. Very, they can't write a lot of things. You see, even you have also you have very designed in their people, those are things. How do we do? Video, places there, slave places there. Okay. So that is the journey, and I use the paid version. You use the free version as a name, how much you can generate. Okay. An alternative to this is being AI. Okay. Of course, free things, the quality can be improved. This is the kind of image that you get for modern minimalist promise here. Okay. The modern minimalist house, or a river, sci-fi city. So this is the kind of quality that you get. Then I realized that three things you need to touch up, you need to improve. And there are actually things like for assets that you can actually upload the image and then it makes it into high rise, okay, which I find quite good. Probably can't see it now from this pixelation to something like this. These are perfectly there. But if you upload a picture of a person, actually does a lot better work. Okay, Chrome AI. Chrome AI is in a way that let me try it first. And if you want those images, you need to pay higher pay. So for example, this is something that, for example, you have a sketch, you want to put it in, ask them to generate the building out. So in the style of color angle, yeah, what is generated in style of color angle, raw cement, or concrete style of facade. So it, I mean, from a sketch all the way to this in 5 seconds. Okay. Back then, I have like an hour to get this 10 years ago. Okay. And you remember the financial hub by Sazan? So the day I screenshot this presentation for it, comparing up then click it, and then this design model. Then I use this reference image. And is okay, the original 3D using model. And so, of course, if you look at it, there are still things that are, included. But if you want to present the line, your CP will look like this. Then, what if you want it to look like this? Or something. Okay. To begin, things like this, there are trees, on top. See a lot of videos are coming out. So this is the current level of what AI can do. And I think all this AI apps, if you give it a few more years, it will be a lot better. Okay. After this, I'll probably let me talk about this. Locax is the one that remember team. It came out, helped them develop this Locax AI. And this is the original image, sample paper, Gary. Then you turn it into a 3D model, physical model, and it looks like this. Okay. I found for architecture, all this kind of problem of vegetable into architecture sort of thing. So Locax is specifically for architecture and interior design. Visually for everything else. I mean, anything. This is very APP for architecture. It is trained by architects for architects. The data set are mostly architecture. Just keep learning on architecture, modern design, or minimalist design. Keep on learning this kind of things. Okay. So it's a very niche software. It looks like this. Let me tell you. After this, I'll be playing quite a few videos because I think it's easier to explain, but I do not. This is where you do the prompting. I realized that AI final product tends to be more resolved compared to visually or other from an architect perspective. If you're asking to refer an image that you want to generate something similar, like just now, I will wait for it and try to bring it out. So yeah, if certain areas you want to improve it, you can select the area, generate something within the area. Okay, so that is locations that and mentioned just now about Adobe pipeline. So Adobe pipeline is a plugin for your Adobe Photoshop. Okay. So basically your Photoshop can do AI, and it's also quite amazing, similar to for me it's more on editing, and I find it's basically prompting. So like actually you get the image you want to generate. See, a lot faster. Back then, I have to Google search some kids swimming, and then with my Photoshop skill, put it in. No, you have no skill, just write it there and it's in. So I actually find it very useful, especially for photo editing. And if you don't have skill set for it, time for it, it's a lot faster. Stable diffusion. Stable diffusion is the kind of monster thing that I think I'm going to try. It is very complicated. If you're a programmer, probably it's easier for you, but it's not very user friendly for artists. There are people who are using it. And the good thing is you get to control the things that come up. You get to have you get to train their data set. Okay. And then from there, you kind of get the style you want, you let it learn your style, and then from there it generates your thing. Okay. Show. Yeah. Very complicated. A lot of settings and things.
Primarily used for general detailed images based on functions. Then it's really stable in real logic, but stable diffusion is a different story. Next, this mission showed us how to use it in the workshop from Power Studio. It was really inspiring. If you can watch it yet, Killing is used. Also, I have included a few links on our websites where you can download photos and blog posts. Here is the regular you can see it's based on stable diffusion 1.5. This website is ready to proceed.
Although that's the data set that each train to download it using the node. If you don't have training, find the model for it.
You can do a picture.
Oh, that's true. It's all
It's very complicated. I haven't really activity enough. It's not necessary to complete the text and generate the image using the same settings in each sampling method. Was really simple. Let's change it and generate. This data is happening on the higher space. The universe by covering just enough scale by function. We use our create 1,000 images. We develop 4,000 and 4K pixels. The nothing strength was also there the push of the larger images. More similar image. Also, I recommend this one. How to download it. The details are in the box. Now, let's use the abstract. Let's use the
So, I think one of the interesting times still don't fully understand why.
Now we have the first comparison. Let's go over the budget count and size. If we increase the budget count to the right pages across, then we reach the right for one budget count. It's created because you can generate all of the images. Copy and for the right count, we can choose the best result. And when the image program changes, it will be moved on grace. There it is. Watch steps in the images are generated at the same time. In my case, the results are clear. Lastly, let's go over the SDMG. The clear box will make it look like form, but will give you the words. Will give you better quality, but on the cells will be more round. Until the sweet spot is between 4 and 10. As we have the basic.
Yeah, so it's a bit more complicated. The good thing is maybe you can download and use it on your own station. You don't have to, maybe you don't use it online. This is very safe in the sense that whatever happens in the computer, because you have to raise our computer, but no one can see what you're doing. You train your own data set. For example, if you are into, let's say, you are your own kind of always use a break there, and you want to explore it in a way that no one else, not no one else. Usually can still use other people's break design, but you want to explore more on the way to do it. Keep uploading images for you to learn. And what happens is it gives you a more accurate product. It gives you what you really need to do. Okay. Usually making all these things, most of the time it's not. It so happens to do something like one is the same. But this is actually learning, the machine learning based on the data that you give it. I could use data diffusion. I don't have the time. You guys to actually check it out. Runway is actually video generating AI. And the again, studio input like guy, he was actually invited to bring this forum. Runway video was in here. Okay, let me talk about Sora first. Sora is actually developed by OpenAI, the same company that does ChatGPT. Okay, now they are not just text, they are doing video also. And the kind of thing that they do is actually quite astonishing. This video was early this year. I generated. This is not a video you take from YouTube. See the prompt are there. Very detailed. You go on the side. So this is the kind of level quality of AI generated videos that I expect soon, very soon. There are some people invited to test out Sora, and you remember just now the team from Zaha came out and trained AI. So he was invited to test out Sora, and this is his video. Okay, now I'm sorry, I think I missed out some videos. This is what Sora can do. Oh. If you ask me, still have to sell the building. So of course, you see there are things that still can be improved. The bed is not even a bed. The bed head doesn't make sense. So coming back to Runway, Runway is another video generating platform whereby at the moment the free version you get like 3-4 seconds, that kind of video. Again, you can actually upload image there, and then it animates the video. Okay, so the same guy, he actually tried this out on Runway. These are images generated using Midjourney. Just one image, but then you just put it in Runway, it animates it for you. So it's short because there was only 3 to 4 seconds. Okay. So we are thinking what AI can do, but actually, different people fix it differently. Okay. Some people, especially artists, digital artists, they tend to think negatively because whatever hard work and skills that they developed over the years is now seemingly easily replaced. Architects tend to think different. For them, it's like AI is a tool to help us because we know that we are way more than just 3D images. To make the project work, make the project work, manage the construction, funny people in the site. It's a lot more than just 3D images. Okay. So architects tend to welcome this thing because it shortens a certain process of their workflow. Whereas artists, that was their workflow. At some point, there is a ban AI thing, because if you look at a station, for example, all the artists rallying against AI. Their reason was because those AI generated are actually stolen from original artists. Okay. And at some point, everyone was uploading this, no AI, no AI. I mean, it was very boring, you know. You say no AI plagiarism, but then you upload an image even from the other people's no AI and read it. So things get more creative. People are redesigning their no AI. Certain websites, certain social media, Facebook, they don't allow people to post AI images. If you look at Instagram nowadays, you can actually pick the AI generated. I mean, you can pick that. Let's say that your upload is actually AI generated. Because Adobe, when they launch Firefly, it becomes a problem. So that begs the question: did AI really steal people's artwork and just decomposing it and become something new, or you went through deep learning and it's actually copyrightable. Okay. So to understand that, you actually have to know how AI works. Okay. So there are, refer to the bottom here, when you generate AI, it starts off very fuzzy, right? Because more clear and clear and clear. It went through this process is called diffusion. Okay. Diffusion and getting more clear in diffusion. So the pixels become more and more and it becomes like this. Now, happen in the process of diffusion. So again, it went through a data set of learning. For example, let's say a green chain. It will learn what is a green chain. It has to learn what is a green chain. So it scours all over the internet. Green chain. It what is green chain, green chain, green chain. Then what people tend to think is they take this image, put it in, and then when you type in the prompt green chain, then they just take this image, put it out. Okay. But what I understand that wasn't the case. What it learns is it learns what is green. It learns what is a chair. Okay. Chair also four legs. It's four legs a chair. It's three legs a chair. Two legs can be a chair. I mean, it needs to learn what is the chair, define what is the chair. Okay. So simple things like this. It starts to learn chair got three legs also. Some chair got five legs also. So it needs to learn from this data set and then encode it into tokens and then store like a seed, you know. And when you grow the seed, and you use it, decode it, you get something that is derived from formula rather than you get a tree which is combined together to get a chair. It is derived from the formula. That being said, every time you prompt something, you won't get the same result. Possible. You won't get the same, for example, green chair. You never get the same region. The chair is either slightly bigger, smaller, 3 legs, 4 legs, about it. But it's like a seed. You plant the seed, even though you pick on the same tree, seed, put it. Tree grow up, it comes out different. Okay. Can I use, for example, Midjourney, use it for myself? A bit like what ChatGPT was starting. So check it out for you, not with everything. It gives the successor. In short, you own the image. Okay. But anything happens after the image, it is your problem. Okay. Now, I generate an image of Mickey Mouse. I own the image of Mickey Mouse. Now, actually, ask the IT lawyer of this because they want to start intellectual property. So, the way IT works is that if you take effort by your own self to do that product, for example, draw a Mickey Mouse. Then the drawing Mickey Mouse, the copyright belongs to you. Unfortunately, the IP of the Mickey Mouse belongs to Disney. You infringe Disney's copyright. Okay. So in a way, it should belong to you. The infringe other people's. Is it wrong or not? It will be wrong, especially if you monetize it. Sell it then comes wrong. If you do not monetize it, is it wrong or not? You did it, it belongs to you. Okay. It's just wrong when you try to say it is mine. In short, you infringe Disney's one. As an artist, you own the rights to say that bubble. Okay. So Midjourney is a very funny thing because different places, different states in America has different laws on it. Some define copyright being something that human produce. The thing is, It's not human values. So in certain states in America, it is not copyrightable. Okay. Certain states can, so it depends on where you are. Okay. So different artists, different users, they will use it differently. For example, some people publish comic nowadays. So if you ask me, it doesn't teach other people's right to sell it, okay, nothing wrong. Okay. But if the comic is Mickey Mouse, by the way, Mickey Mouse is really past 100 years, so it belongs it's a common property. For example, Pikachu, if you put a Pikachu comic, you infringe upon Nintendo. Okay. Some people produce art of what is happening, t-shirt design, skateboards, and so on. So it's actually very, people actually produce the art, sell the art, and use the art in various ways. So my company recently found very eye-refreshing thing. We were doing this bonsai architecture project and using AI. So what we did is we used AI to generate images, and then in reverse, we actually logic it out and turn it into something workable design. So from there, we actually turn it into project. So imagine this is a ground floor plan, and then arcade and those things, and all of the thing. Hence the name bonsai library. The entrance is like this. Then you look at the internal spaces, this is where the arrival hall events. You see all the bonsai spaces, the living hall, and the bedrooms. Even this is actually the jacuzzi, the tree nearby, feel like you're eating outdoors. And that kind of thing, we try to draw the elevations, building, logic out all these spaces, dining area, tea area, staircase. So if you look at it, we try to logic out all these images into a plan. It's something very interesting because the way I work is that I tend to begin with 10 by. Okay, that means I tend to like the image that I want to do, then all the plan is on the image, and then I decide because nothing comes out perfectly. Then plan with other sort of thing. You have to link down a few rounds, get it right, the sort of process. So after thinking for a while, this is actually what we get. You know, if this view we see this, this view we see this, and then we go down a workable plan. For me, it is actually a good thing for staffs, especially fresh grads. If can they actually lodge down a workable plan? I mean, a poor result would be that put the living next to the so in spaces where you have no view. Okay. For example, if there's a courtyard space here, how each space actually interact with each other. Okay. So for me, it's a training out for some of the stuff, and it becomes a project that you suddenly think that you can actually do more of these kind of things. Explore. And remember runway as well? We actually AI song, by the way, by AI. I say the sound 3 seconds. Okay. Then you're like, hey, let's do some evil, specializing on side architecture. And then you were like, oh, we're gonna do the evil side of Amazon, do all these things. And after a while, yeah, actually a lot of projects here, like 8 projects, you get a bit crazy. Because I had to do crazy things over and kind of these pictures, produce the concept, design. This is very cool. I'm not sure if you can see this now. This is AI generated. On-site and design both invites us shape our world with intention. What if or line? Like, it's like I understood what I want to be. Okay. So all these are actually extensions also it's all AI model. Seriously, you are delivering design architecture. Then get more serious. What if we have other types of buildings for design? Like for example, it's called a tech studio whereby a photographer lives in there and he likes outside. Okay. Probably like to take his pictures every day. And imagine this is spaces and see. Then we develop all these kind of plans, try to make sense out of things. And it's a very interesting thing because again, I was feeling myself. This project was actually designed, laid out by myself. Imagine you are like a supermodel, going up, all surrounded, no one can see you going. No one can see you halfway. No one knows what went in, what went out. Okay. Then coming to the private office in the house here, making sure you're the right person go in. Then this is where you stay, and then this is where you do your makeup photography and so on. See, this is the thing. Pick your program. Okay. You are supermodel. And this is where the gallery is. And this becomes the blue area. It's actually the public space for the supermodel. Whereas the photographer stays here, orange color. This is where he comes up. There is like a secret walkway go in. This is the bedroom, and then this is the living and the kitchen space. Okay. They all share and interact with the spot. The photographer can see the supermodel here. I mean, it's not a photographer, anyway. So it's an interesting play of spaces, and you see the kind of sexy routing you get. See also steam already, and see the kind of makeup and fashion storage area. Okay. So it's black colors. It's a lot of black color, and everything. And this is where the photographer after the finish the photo shoot with the Photoshop here. And I didn't know it was a big project. And then it went to and now it becomes like a very serious play of space. And then you take now to see the plans of the things. Okay. And the next one is actually called the Shizuka Yama. Meaning Tranquil Mountains, Shizuka is Tranquil Mountains. Okay, so it's actually in Japan. It's not actually Japan. Okay. And this is the arrival hall. And then this is the kind of, imagine the kind of spaces that you get when you arrive in, and then how they focus on the outside, the material that you use, other schemes. Okay. Or okay, look. Then we have a restaurant, and then the restaurant is called Yamate, you know, mountain Chinese restaurant, Yamate. Spa area. How nice is this? So the stuff in hot water and then cooking on this beautiful sceneries. So beautiful. Especially this one. You look at it, you want to tell me about brown. So the chalet, you know, we have watching out for these treatments. Then there's the bedrooms inside, how they position the bed, you know, how they have a outside and another practice to be. Okay. So in the end, we do all these things. Let's upload it on Amazon. Let's sell it at the people. Okay. So we haven't uploaded it. This is how it probably look like. And it's not just about that design. Let's try other things. What about, you know, marble, concrete, you know, rust? Rust is actually very unique. Those things. Then we have started developing this. So check us out on IG. see us trying to do all these promotion things and all these things. Nowadays I go to office, I go inside and on-site blessings to you. My staff. This video is AI, generated by AI, which will confirm a lot of funny. It's composed and actually played by humans, and it's going to the outside house behind action. All the beautiful spaces. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna tell you. There's a lot of funny things. I guess everyone who are here, if you scan this, you get 50% off. I would say it's gonna be like probably lower. I'm not sure, but both of them are 25. So lecturers pay for free. You know, because a lot of things are happening. Okay, so scan it, doing the thing. If you want later, buy lah. If you don't want to buy lah, okay, but get the 50% off the thing. Okay, I'm gonna hold this thing for a while. So that is the funny thing that we're doing with AI. If you ask me, does AI help with the workflow? Yes, in certain aspects, no in most of it. Yes, in the sense that it helps you to conceptualize. It's not better. It's better for you to express your ideas out. Easier for you to have image. Science. This is Zen Garden looks like. Zen Garden with Panda is like. Zen Garden, then you can't get it. So it's a kind of thing whereby you can create this kind of image and show to the client. Okay. There are some AI platforms whereby you can. I wouldn't quite AI, it's not an algorithm. Create a space for you. For example, how create a vision. For me, it's not an algorithm. AI is nowadays becoming more and more, how to say, the things that are being generated more accurate. You don't see 6 fingers, 7 fingers, and sort of thing. For students, because I know there are students here, I would advise you not to rely solely on it. Okay. At my level, when I use it, because I have so many years of industry experience, using it is different because you know we have developed a set of skills. But for those who don't, you use this too much, you realize you don't even want to do a 3D. Okay. In a way, it's bad. Okay. And then you realize it is guiding you towards a design rather than you are guiding it. If you do not know how to do it. Okay. I say workflow is not conceptual and ideas. I'm using to produce drawings, submission drawings. Not yet, it's not there yet. Okay. I'm using to run a construction. Okay. For me, it's more like conveying a message. Okay. So I always tell myself, with AI, we are equal. Because whatever you do using AI, you can also do using AI. Okay. So in my company, we try to use AI to for things that uses statistics. We use it to check our emails for setup, especially on the graph. Our architects instruction, for example, used to be run instructor to do this and that and sort of thing. But nowadays, for AI, the architect instruction very pro and around structure nicely. You're supposed to do this, give a standard statement like when, and then do this like when, and sort of thing. So it is also a learning process because when you come out to work, if you realize you are only as good as what you're trained to do. So what is good and what is bad, we don't know. But when you have access to AI, you realize, yeah, things that previously were also an issue, but it's here. Okay. And a lot of things are actually looking at things, especially documents you issue out using ChatGPT, actually improve, learn using it. It's very funny. I learn from myself. Let's say this, I learned from two of people worldwide. That's where I learn from. When you come out to work, you work in this company, you only learn this company. Okay. AI gives you access to a lot more things. So I hope it becomes something that we all can make use of it, and hopefully it doesn't take over us, but more so that we use it as a tool, help us achieve what we want, okay, not the other way around. So that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Architect Jethro, for the wonderful presentation. I hope we learn more about AI and something new, material or whatever, but something we learn. So, once again, we give a big round of applause. So now we are going to have a Q&A question. If anyone has any question for all speakers, please feel free to ask, to raise up your hand.
I think today we have a very good sharing of PS on Tanzan, of the great teacher and project from BDC. Not many of us are aware that probably they are some very great project and work for done by BDC, and they also have a lot of housing. Maybe you have any questions regarding the green share. The AI expert, like in sense the one side sensitive with the feature and the song. Of course, actually today, I don't know what is prepared, to be honest. Especially the last part, that the promote the wrong side. No. Okay, it's okay. Because this one, I have to say free for lecturer. How about students?
Yeah, student, you all purposely stay back to do this again, student also be. Sure you put that student.
And like what the show say today is sharing that great awareness that all of us we know how to utilize the tools. This is a trend. I mean, come back to the like old times. I remember when studying in the school that we start to use computers. I remember the moment that I started for the digital class in primary school, and that's the revolution. And after that, school start to have a lot of this technology start to teach. For example, like the first moment I used calculator to for the exam question is combine and only NX allowed to do the normal calculator. But nowadays, I think the primary school they start to use calculator already. So you can see that the revolution of the technology become younger and approacher. And of course, this is the sharing is the another revolution. Green teacher. Actually now, Penang, I believe most of you practice, you are aware that the authority also imposing the green line toward the green RE. And AI prove that for us that most of us we know, but we might not understand how to use it. And now also we promote the competition, AI and green competition. This is where open for band members is free.
So today's sharing, we also try to help that also interested join a position. It helps you to have the idea that how to use the right tools or suitable one. Also with the green idea to approach for the design, and hope that you will join. And it was prepared by what the competition, so in the course collected. It will be very interesting, trust me, because he from the Millennium Development Corporation, what the competition also benefit. Joining, then we will share the details later. Okay, of course, today videos we also will share out for the public, which we only just join online. And we also having a Q&A section in the future for those participants. You want to know more about the tools and how to use it for the competition, we will do another session separately online. Again, it's a moment that you can ask. Then in face-to-face, or you want to touch them later. So far, any questions or students? You think anything might strike you? Maybe my first question for potential you think how fast actually we can master the tools? I mean, whether it's 1 week, 2 weeks time, or we need longer for this AI knowledge. First of all, it depends on what kind of right using. You're using the stable diffusion, it's a little longer because you have to train yourself if you want it to learn something from people. If you ask me, things like, for example, lead journey or thing, you straight away type something, you get something. Okay. Whether the thing is good or not, that's for you to decide. If you ask me, the training process is about to get something that you are confident, you get the hang of it. Get the hang of it. If you ask me, it's about 5 days or less. Of course, just the way you do the prompt, you can also research it more. You realize that certain parameters you can actually change a bit. Like for example, landscape, portrait, all these things. We need to run away. Okay, so okay, yeah, for me it's about 5 days or less now. Okay, really into it. Immediately you can get something. Definitely you can get something. You put sometimes accidentally had to stop and you should cover something like, I mean, whatever that is. I think the key word is try. Yes, trouble market account. So you need to try it out, get the hang of it, and then you know there's a certain pattern to it. But I guess I explained nearly 50% of the pattern. So try it out, just try it out, especially in 3 months. Actually, most of it comes with free version first. And when you they know they're good, they know you like it, they try you. Bye. Thanks for answering.
Thank you very much for the so much energy and passion in the talk. I can see that. We on the academics that to us ChatGPT is it's still something new. However, we have a lot of talks around the campus, but this one that I'm hearing is totally different because it is coming from the architect's perspective. So it's it becomes very interesting and very creative in that sense. I'm coming from the academic. I want to ask you, how much do you think? Because often, especially in the master's level, we no longer, they do a video as long as the video reflected the other design, and obviously when you have rendered and do the animation, so that's it. But today, hearing all of this, because sometimes 10 weeks of a project of housing, for example, then they need quick animation, because at the end of the day, everything comes to the end. So of course, they have to do videos. We have in the past where students come in after the pressure, peer pressure, they stop because they say that the graduate, we were not taught how to do animation like the rest. And this may be coming from other universities. So sometimes that now becomes something yang and when we have to do animation and all that. But looking at this, it's a totally different perspective. Last month we had Korean researcher professors come in. They even have AI for design in their studio. So they actually encourage them, especially in the beginning of the process and so on. So of course, when you want students to come into your office, you don't want them to just know AI, but know the whole process. How much do you think? Because we like to do this when industry comes in, and then we try to see and absorb. Probably this is the way forward. Anything we can have, but I just want to get it from the industrial sector. But what do you think? In the design process, because I think these to us at the SOA, even Francis, you have been here, you have looked at our students' work. Sometimes the parents comes in, they say, hey, betul ke? Sometimes it's just too well animated in terms of the videos and whatnot. But today I'm looking at it as because those processes, they went through the whole the traditional process. You know, it's very pressure to them because they had to come up with the whole proposal and then going on through all the process and so on. But what if this video and additional, at the end of the day, we want it to be, of course, we have to reflect. So because when you do AI, it comes to design and now you have songs even. So maybe a bit of your views on that. Thank you.
I always tell people that students shouldn't be using AI. Okay, an analogy I would like to express is, for example, there's this picture, there's this quote that I always see. A bird standing on a tree branch. It is confident that it won't fall, not because of the strength of the tree branch, but in its ability to fly. The bird confident stay there. It's not because of confident the tree branch is wrong. It's confident because it can't fall. It has to fly. It has to fly. So that being said, translating back to academics, I would say that all these things, my point of view, all these things, when I say my point of view means it can be right, can be wrong, but it's just my point of view. And they need to go through all this process, you know. Because AI for me, a lot of technology things, for me, it's good to have. In case you really cannot do it yourself, you need something that is a skill set to have. Like when the staff C# thing, then we have to face. So it's good to have that extra backup. But like it or not, everything still depends on for example, another example would be I know specifications. For example, what do I specify for Windows, window, and then the frame, our total things. Do I need to know? I just call my supplier, and the supplier advises me, then I'll just give you the setup. Right? But in front of the supplier has the window. Mr. Architect, what do you think about the window? Do you think you should fix the airplane or get everything? And then you answer, but if you want to answer in front of that is for me is a bit hard. But if you have the knowledge to say, oh, this system is enough, only until then help you save cost. Help you save cost time. But if all these power people rely on AI, rely on Wikipedia, there will be a lot of skill. Then you answer them, it's check with bosses, check with clients. So, like it or not, I believe still we have to develop our skill. AI is there to shit happens, you need to get things done. AI. Yeah, that's one thing. Right. I could try. Explanation. Okay, as in the drawings or the drawing. Okay, drawing for example, let's say a scan drawing, put it in Gemini, say ChatGPT Pro, put it in, specification, is it suitable? That kind of thing still can answer it. Because it can detect the spectrum. And for example, you are putting, for example, you are putting the font yellow color waterproofing. Maybe it's a pink, and then it's specified that it's a waterproofing. This kind of thing, application you can solve for you. What about selection of materials? Selection of materials, for example, let's say it can. Yeah, I haven't done that until yet. What is I'll probably download a catalog, upload some specs for you to study, and ask based on the specs, which is the best. Again, I would still say back to things. If I am not confident, then I will use it. I wouldn't do anything, don't worry, ChatGPT solve all my problem. Don't think that is the correct way. Just my possibility is yours, not ChatGPT. Okay. Any question?
Design will be designed using we on building with GBI.
Yes, yes. Objective will be our next project. Part of the district. We are also currently with our distributor doing that. For our next new contract, directly for all.
We have that I start and use AI.
Okay, for me, question is too general. If you ask me straight away, yes. But if you ask me, should they reduce on fees? I mean, for me, that is a better question. Okay. Now, for me, likewise, show this out. If the client comes to me knowing what they know, knowing what they want, for me, that's good. I mean, clients come to you, I don't know what I want. You just give me the give me the drawing first. I don't know what I want, then later we put together. And then after 10 rounds, they still don't know what they want. I mean, their clients are good. Okay. If that's the case, client to AI knowing what they want, I think that's good. Now, I think it's now, if the client maybe do the AI, come up with a perspective. Start design. Just do this one, I do the design for you already. But now just 20%. Right? Do I encourage this? Okay. This is where you need to know value of it. Then one picture, how much is it worth? Okay. Equally speaking, they can just download something from the internet. Actually, this is what I want. That being said, does it reduce the fees? Okay. Yeah, in short, for me, it's a good thing. When it comes to reducing fees, that's bad thing. And if you cut down certain scope of work, yes. But showing the picture, I don't think that cut down scope of work, it doesn't cut down scope of work. It's there from clients. You see, yes, we can generate AI, get our ideas, get our concept, get our initial what we want. But at the end of the day, we got that to advise on the rest of the picture. Because if you look at AI, it's just one piece of the whole building. There's a lot of things that you need to do. Because architects involved not only just designing the building, whole process of construction until the end. But not all AI can do that. I mean, AI is not reaching that way. If the client come up with itself, it's not done with AI. But I think architect has responsibility to check the document. To get all the requirements right, to get all the authorities right. There's always two types of authority. Always check and then. You are a student, right? I think you bring up with state is from clients. PDC is the owner. Accountant is the designer. So both of them explain their own point of view. From client, accountant. I mean, that this is good client. Okay, I think anyone before
today our talk is AI and green, right? But until now we can see AI is green. So how like maybe in the future you are going to use AI, or maybe in time you are going to solve anything for green strategy? Is there any connection in the future? What you guys think?
Yeah, I'm expecting that question as well. Because it's very obviously it's two different situations. But again, I think at the end of the day, when you are predicting future or you want something new, AI definitely can help, especially just to inspire or get new ideas out of any situation. For example, for us, just one area that on our competition, you don't know what is going to happen in the next 10 years, especially with new requirements coming in, new regulations, and new goals and others. For example, like British building, how do you want to integrate solar panels on British building? Because it's never been done before. I think AI can help you in terms of generating ideas, generating how the framework, how to do it. It's creating a situation of me or maybe or yes, so it's in my kind of my view, it's helping me in that way. It helps you to inspire, it helps you to predict what's happening next because the future is and I'm a division of a lot of things. So AI can help you in these things. There was a situation, there was a project whereby actually, okay, not in terms of image generating, but image generating not I was actually in a position whereby we are trying to starting of the design, one of the problems design is what I have. We know the area of the room. And with just that info, I use ChatGPT, I use Gemini to ask it how many with this area of the room, if I max it out with solar panels, do I still need TNB? Okay. Now, Gemini knows the area, it knows the size of the solar panel, it knows how much solar panel generating, it knows our well pattern, it knows TNB calculation running. So it came out all this calculation for me. How many solar panels, each solar panel, how much, each your TNB based on usage of, let's say, for example, student accommodation. Student accommodation in Malaysia consists of how much kilowatt and so on. And then, for me, in the end, your roof can only account to, let's say, 70% of your energy usage. And then the rest you have ANB. That was a situation whereby it's for me it's revolutionizing. Back then, what would I do? The engineer please advise me whether it's a zero carbon building or I like to still use energy resource. Giving I solve the problem. That was just one example of usage. Reaching architecture. We for example, you have a lot of we don't know what to do. Or maybe AI provide to list out what is to do for the site based on what you told it. The area, the location, the nearby surroundings, what the climate, what are you going to get, what your potential client, and give a few ideas that we can approach it. For example, like the one I'm using for instance, right? When I use AI, who's working within this financial area, what kind of job they're creating, what is related work that can be put in this development, so that kind of thing is really hard. More question. Okay, I think there will be our Q&A session ending. Let's see.
Thank you to all our speakers to their valuable insight and to our sponsors for their support. As a token of appreciation, we would like to now present souvenirs to the board speakers and sponsors. Please join me in acknowledging their valuable contribution. Now, I would like to invite Akita Rosenberg to come forward and present tokens of appreciation to our speakers. Let's give them a big round of applause of their valuable contribution. Please welcome Akita Jethro. And please welcome Technologies Mohammed Shah. Okay, now I would like to invite Active Countries to present the souvenirs to our sponsors. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Joy. Thank you. Thank you.
We will have a group photo. So, our sponsor, we have a seat, and chairman, our chairman, we will have a group photo now. So, maybe at the back row, maybe I need your help that we can you move forward. Fine. Maybe some of you can stand. Think the front more. Thank you. Students, graduate the Yes.